What is up, everybody? Hey, I am here today to talk about a build that I've been meaning to play for a while. I kind of crafted it out on the DDO Builder. Fantastic tool. And I just haven't had time between like life and raiding and like hardcore and all this other stuff. But I'm on my way. I'm like level what is it? I'm like level 15 right now, so I'm gonna be at cap before I know it. But I'm just so excited, and I wanted to get a video out because this has been something I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'm gonna share with you what I've crafted out here, and it's a Pally Vanguard. Okay, hear me out. It is going to be a very defensive and offensive character. You're not going to sacrifice that much offensive stuff to gain defenses either. And you'll see what I mean by that. I fit basically like everything that I need to fit in this build. And it's really great. So the idea is it's going to be like a Juggernaut build. You go in, you shield bash, you stun everything, do all this extra helpless damage. It's a helpless damage build too. So you go in, you stun things, you cause helpless, you kill it. You know, you're the center of attention. You're the tank for your party. If your party doesn't have a tank, with all the defenses that you get, all the PRR you have, and you just kill things. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna have you're gonna do strike through too with bastard swords. So it's a strike through build as well. So all your stuns are gonna strike through. You're gonna have shield bashing too for some single target enemies, and you know, it's gonna be nice. I feel like it's gonna perform kind of similarly to the 11.8.1 I played, like the melee bear wolf thing, because it's gonna have strike through and it's gonna have single target damage, and it's gonna have a lot of helpless damage. So hopefully that's gonna make it feel powerful. And without further ado, let's get into it. Let me show you why I chose Pally over Fighter 2. I've compared over and over again, and I've been between both of these fighters, Pally builds, and I've been trying to see which one's best. And every time Pally comes out ahead. The main reason why Pally comes out ahead is because you don't have to invest in double strike feat, and you can get like double strike here. Also, you get like moral bonuses to melee power here. Also, let me show you something cool. So sentient weapons, okay, or sentient or Filigrees, jeez. Okay, so sanctified fervor, or however you say it, it's a 5-piece Filigree set. And Pally's get Smite Evil. You can get some as fighter, but not as many. And you don't have religious lore as a fighter. But basically, what you do is you use a Smite Evil, and you gain 5 melee power plus 1 per religious lore you have for 60 seconds. 60 seconds is like a couple fights. So you pop a Smite Evil, you gain 25 melee power for 60 seconds. So stack that 25 melee power with like, I don't know what you're gonna get here, about 20 or so with the epic feats. So you're gonna get a lot of extra melee power compared to the fighter. Even though fighter gets Kensai, you're still going to come ahead in melee power. Also, you're going to get competence bonus to critical threat range and multiplier on your swords. So that kind of takes care of Kensai also. Like, so you don't really need to worry about Kensai like on this. And you could also, without the Kensai tree, invest in getting more double strike and making your double strike cap and getting more PRR and stuff in Vistani and picking up the haste boost. And another reason why Pally is so nice is because you get a trance. That makes it so you do extra attack damage and the DCs of your tactical feats based on your charisma modifier. So Pally, like a no-brainer in my mind. I've compared it over and over again. Also, you get more PRR and MRR. Here you get more all over the place. You get some armor class and PRR here. You get some MRR here. You can have a swap for Gloryborn gloves and get PRR here. Quality 20. There's so much, and you get prayer for free. You know, a lot of people have prayer, sure, but you don't have to hunt anybody anymore. You get it yourself. Okay, Pally Vanguard. So what makes this build unique? What makes this a nice build? Well, for one, it's a strike through build. You need Bastard Sword, so you get greater two-handed fighting. You get perfect two-handed fighting for all this strike through, and you get the strike through here in half orc tree. You get strike through here as Knight of the Chalice tree. Your strike through is going to be pretty damn high, and that's nice, because when you use abilities like Stunning Blow, you're gonna stun a shit ton of mobs. Also, you have a stun. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, you have a stun here. So that's nice. You get a stun here. Your shield bash stuns enemies 10% of the time. So you're getting all these stuns. You get your shield throw here, which has a 20-second cooldown, but still it's a shield throw. Also, concentration, when you use this for 4 seconds, enemies become helpless. So you have all these abilities to cause helpless damage. And then you're getting Crush Weakness here for extra helpless damage in the Feats section. You get 20% extra helpless damage in half orc tree. You get helpless damage from a 3-piece raid augment set. All this helpless damage, all this strike through, all this fun stuff. And you're gonna get all these defenses. Now, looking into the Vanguard tree, if you look here, you get a lot of attack and damage working your way up. You get a crap ton. But the cool thing is, you get a bunch of shield bash chance. Your shield bash chance is going to be like 90 something, like 96 or 5 or something high, 99. I don't know what it is, but without doing the math again. But anyways, if you don't know how shield bashing works, it's you hit with your weapon, your sword, your main hand weapon, whatever it may be, and then you instantly bash an enemy with your shield. So it's slash bash, you know, and if you have a 10% chance to make a secondary shield bash, what that means is you hit an enemy and then you have a 10% chance to do that shield bash that I talked about. But if you had a 100% chance, you always slash and then bash them with your shield. Pretty neat mechanic. There's a bunch of builds online for Vanguard, but I think this is going to be one of the best. It just, everything just worked out kind of perfectly in this build. So if you look to something else that makes this really good is you get 5% attack speed here, 5% attack speed here, 5% attack speed here, 5% attack speed here. You get so much attack speed. And if you look, your shield bashes stun enemies 10% of the time. Crazy good. So when you're up against a single enemy, like, and you're shield bashing all the time, and your shield bashes actually are going to be double striking too. So you have a crazy attack speed. You're going to be stunning enemies in place. Just with your shield. And if you look, I use the better blade. There is a blade that has a little more damage, but this one has Royalty's Frigid Response. And what that does is your attacks have a chance to freeze enemies, causing more helpless damage, I'm assuming. I'm hoping. If not, it's just another form of CC. So, single target attacking enemies. You have the Bitter Blade for the freezing. You have your shields have a chance to stun. Really nice. For groups, you have Stunning Blow, it's on a 15-second cooldown, and then you have your Shield Throw, which is on a 20-second cooldown, and you can stun from a distance with that Shield Throw. Pretty nice. Excuse me. Another thing to note here. I went over the strike through. You get the helpless. You get a bunch of damage in half orc too, just from being in half orc. Neat thing too is you get +1 crit damage multi on a roll of a 19 to 20. That's insane. So with 19 to 20 rolls, you get +1 here, you get +1 there, and then you get +1 here. Like, that's crazy. You're gonna be hitting so high with your rate of attack speed too, and with how much you double strike. So this build essentially should be critting pretty often. Now, in this tree, you also get some nice things, like you get deflect arrows every 2 seconds. That's insane. You get just some attacks. This one right here, when you use this ability, you get PRR and MRR for 12 seconds. It's just free defenses, right? Just use that every so often. This right here, whenever you use a stunning ability, whether it stuns or not, you get melee power. Free melee power. That's nice. 10 melee power here. You get, when you shield bash, the enemies get 1d4 stacks of vulnerability. That's really nice. Also, if you look in here, Divine Crusader, Law of the Divine, if you have the embodiment of Law feat, which we are getting, you do stacks of vulnerability. So you're adding vulnerability here with this. You're adding vulnerability with your shield bashes. Does this give vulnerability? It does not, but whatever. You could have a raid weapon swap if you really wanted. If you don't have enough to invest in this half-orc tree, you can get rid of some of the Knight of the Chalice. The things you're going to want is you're going to want this Divine Might, whether it's one charge of this or not, and you're going to want the strike through. The smites are also good, because like I said, every time you use smites, you get, where is it? 25 melee power from this Filigrees set. So smites are good if you can get these. I think Pally gets 6 automatically, but you're gonna want some more. And reason why you want more, something else that's really neat, is when you smite evil, you get the Crusade buff for 4 seconds. And Crusade buff is plus 10% damage. So when you use Smite Evil, you just get 10% more damage. That's the idea. I haven't tested this. Hopefully it works that way. But that's another reason why more Smite Evils would probably be good. It pretty much covers the enhancements. You're kind of seeing how this pieces together so far, right? Like lots of just helpless damage. You're getting in, you're using all your abilities and crushing things. You'll notice I'm in Divine Crusader, and that's mainly for, like I said, this ability. Also, your shield can double strike. That's crazy. And the embodiment of Law, if you get that, you add vulnerability, armor destruction, do more damage. That's just very fitting for a build that attacks so fast. And one thing you'll notice is I get Bastard Swords as a favorite weapon, and you need this because it says up here in the top tier, while using a favorite weapon, you get +1 crit multi on a roll of 19 to 20. So it needs to be a favorite weapon, your Bastard Swords. And requisite for this, like, you need Bastard Sword proficiency if you read this. So you need to get exotic weapon proficiency Bastard Sword, sadly. So that takes up a feat. So Bastard Sword proficiency means you can get Bastard Swords as favorite weapons, meaning you can use them for the +1 crit multi and 19 to 20. Another thing you'll notice, I get the secondary shield bash chance. You need that. You get attack damage. That's just pretty nice working your way up the tree. Same with this crit damage. Double strike, you need this. That's a must. You can forego the consecration if you really wanted, but I think you should keep it. I have 2 epic strikes in this build. One here is for the extra temp HP. This is really good. You use this and you swap to something that gives you affirmation, which is another 1000 temp HP. You can stack up the temp HP when you're up against bosses and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Divine Crusader. You can look at the rest of the stuff here. It's just little things like PR here, magic missile immunity. You know, you get some armor class and stuff like that, PR. You'll notice I don't take these mantle things here. I get the mantle from Grandmaster Flowers. Reason being is you get 15% damage to helpless, or bonus damage to helpless monsters. That's essential considering this is a helpless damage build. You know, you get your crush weakness here, get your helpless damage here, you get your raid augments for the helpless damage, you get your helpless damage here, you're doing crazy amounts of helpless damage, and you get +1 W. Also you get 4 stunning DCs working your way up in the tree. Also you get double strike and you get strike through. Can't beat it. And more melee power in the cores. So the reason why I go second tier on yielding is mainly for all the defenses and offenses too. Defense wise, you get this guard up like I said, that's temp HP. You get some fortification. You really want that if you're being tanky. Your shield's AC is increased by 50%. You throw a shield that does damage, extra hit points, and the shield throw now stuns, which is essential for this build. You get 15 PR and 6 double strike. See, you get some offensive abilities there. Double strike. You get damage when you first attack an enemy, and 25 PR and MRR. This is a crazy buff. So every time you go into a fight, almost like you're gonna get 6 damage and 25 PR and MRR. That's insane. That's really good. Yeah. So I'll go over feats now. You want the two weapon fighting, or two-handed fighting feats. Perfect two-handed fighting. You want improved critical bludgeoning. Reason why I don't go slashing is you need the bludgeoning for the shield, and the weapon I'm going to use has keen on it, so I don't need improved critical slashing because it's already applied. Stunning blow to stun enemies. This third, you're gonna get completionist automatically now, so I don't know what I'm gonna get here. I don't think I'm gonna get power attack. I have it selected, but this is kind of up in the air. You want to follow the sovereign host because you get unyielding sovereignty, which heals you. It's 1-click heal for like you or a party member. Prove shield bash to get 20% secondary shield bash chance, bringing you very close to 100. Overwhelming critical, essential on all melees. Like I said, this is really good. Tower shield proficiency, you need this to like get the PR and the damage from tower shields. Crush weakness, epic damage reduction. You could get something else. You could get like 2 melee power here, but I get PRR because I feel like it fits better. Embodiment of Law for the extra damage. Like I said, you need this Bastard Sword proficiency for Divine Crusader. Now, the Scion, I get Scion of Borea because it's the most melee power. It's the most straight up damage. And then Shield Master Specialty gives you all the Shield Mastery feats, giving you some double strike, giving you some melee power, and giving you some PRR when you wear shields, making this build even more tanky. Now, this is what makes this build fun too, the gearing, how everything just kind of like fit in place oh so nicely. So first of all, you have your your best in slot items, in my opinion. You have your Enhanced Blood Rage, Relentless Fury, Raptor Tooth Necklace. You have your Belt of the Ram, which gives you Ram Smite and Quality Strength. I don't get Ram Smite any other way. I get the Ring of Acid, which is nice. You could replace Ram Smite, the belt, I guess, with something that gives you like more DCs if you're struggling for stunning. But Ring of Acid, for the acid damage on hit, you get the Dripping with Magma. For the fire damage on hit, and then I have the Bitter Blade for the CCing aspect. There's a blade that does a bastard sword that does a little more damage. It's from Too Hot to Handle. I forget the name off the top of my head, but I'm gonna try this out, see how the CC does on it. I might have to play with these. This one here is part of the Dread set, and it gives me Insightful PRR. You could get the best defense, which I think has the most damage in the game for shields, but it's a large shield and it's not part of Dread set, so you'd have to give up like your belt for a Dread belt. So, and then therefore you give up the Insightful PRR. So I think this works out better. Oh, also real quick for feats, this is the stupidest thing ever, which kind of sucks. If you look at Perfect Shield Mastery, this is a really nice feat, right? But it requires Shield Mastery, okay? So Perfect Shield Mastery requires Shield Mastery. And if you get Shield Mastery, you cannot get Shield Mastery Specialty. So it kind of screws you over, making it so you like really can't get that Perfect Shield Mastery feat. Like, if you really wanted this feat, what you would have to do is, well, let's see if you can even do it. Epic Destiny feats, level 22, 25, 28, 31. 22 is this, you can't get rid of this. So 22, 25, Crush Weakness, you can't get rid of that. 28, you could get rid of Embodiment of Law, but that causes some vulnerability. That's a lot of extra damage. I really don't want to get rid of that. And 31 is the Mastery feats, so you can't get rid of that. So what you could do is, like, it'd be confusing. What you would have to do is you would have to, for this feat here, you would have to get rid of, you would have to do your Shield Mastery feats right here. No, I don't know how that would work. Yeah, you'd have to get your Shield Mastery feats here, and then you would have to get Perfect Shield Mastery here, and then you'd get your two-handed fighting specialty feat here. But you'd miss out on Embodiment of Law, so it's like, I don't know. Another option, well, actually, no, that's like the only option there. But, yeah. Anyways, back to the gearing. So like I said, you got your couple best in slot pieces. And what makes this really interesting is if you look here, you have 15% artifact double strike, 15 artifact melee power. And then here you have profane melee power. So these stack, so giving you 30 melee power. And also if you look here, you get 30 profane PRR, and with this set you get 30 artifact PRR, meaning 60 PRR just from gearing right there, like from those two sets. It's really nice. So the thing that's giving me this is the Helm of the Red Dragon and the Red Dragon armor, the heavy armor. And for the Windlashers, I have this cloak, Cape of the Rock, and I have it on here, Windlashers Frosty. Now, if you could get Raven's Eye set, if you could get a Windlashers and Raven's Eye, then that would be amazing, and you would get rid of Collective Sight and just have a Raven's Eye here. But I like the Collective Sight for now. It's a good filler piece for my Charisma, and it gives me MRR quality. So for the 5-piece Dread, I have the shield, I have gloves, I have boots, I have this wristwatch, which is really nice. You can probably replace the glove and boots with something else, I'm not too sure. But then I have this ring. The only thing you really need on it is Seeker and like Enhanced Ghostly, maybe. I might do a little Sundering, so that's why I put that on there. But it's mainly just for the 4-piece Filigrees. And for the Seeker 14, because you have Seeker 13 here, but like, why not just get 14? And on the gem, I have Double Strike 16. You'll notice you can get an augment for Double Strike 15, but why not get 1% more Double Strike, right? This is an offensive build too, primarily. Shield Bash 22%, because you don't get it on your shield since you're using this shield. And Insightful Seeker 6 covers like all your bases. I don't have Quality Deadly though. Or Quality Seeker. Those are the only two things I don't have. But like, whatever. You can't get everything if you're trying to be defensive too and use multiple sets. But I believe this is probably going to be like one of the best sets here. Filigrees are really interesting. You'll notice I have threat reduction here. Reason for that is if I go into a raid, I could just swap some of my destinies and get 30% more reduction, and then I can get an augment that gives me 20, bringing me to 100% threat reduction. Or if I'm in a raid, I can just switch some things around and get more threat reduction in my trees. So this is just kind of like a filler piece. You could get rid of it and put more PRR here, or not PRR, more melee power. You can get another melee power rare, or you can replace this one against many melee power, bring you down to a 3-piece, and gets another treachery threat reduction. So it's up to you. For the Filigrees, I do Sucker Punch 1 against money, Sucker Punch 1 against money. This is you want to do this on any melee you go, and then I get another Sucker Punch, or another 1 against money, and another 1 against money here, bringing me to a 4-piece. So I feel like this might be nice with how much I attack, but who knows? I could always switch this around, but 4-piece Dreadringer, this is pretty common. You got your melee power here. If you look at the set, it gives you 4 bypass melee power. You'll notice my build with the gearing doesn't have fortification bypass, but to be completely honest with you, the past couple melee builds I had, it hasn't been like a huge deal. If it does become a huge deal, I think maybe I could get rid of the double strike, and can you craft fort bypass and then augment the double strike? Either way, like, you have things that reduce their fort in this build just by attacking, so I don't know. Then Shattered Device, I have a 4-piece of that, as you can see. So with 2 of the melee power rares. And then these are just singles. This is just for the melee power. You could put anything melee power rare there. So obviously you can change things to how you like with this build and move stuff around, but this is kind of like what I found might work the best. Obviously this is all written down on paper, right? it's going to be different when I actually get into the game. And my hope is that it'll have enough defensive abilities to rush into any fight when you're questing, take a couple hits, you know, stun everything, be fine, and just keep going. Just keep chugging along with that extra helpless damage that you have. I hope this build rips through mobs, right? And if it doesn't, it's gonna be upsetting, but it looks like it will. And thank you for watching this. I have this build. I'm level 15 at the moment, so once I get some of this gearing and get things situated, I will be posting videos, so stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. I just want to get this out there because I'm too excited about it. Alright, bye bye.